everybody. Welcome to Fire Your MD Now. Happy Monday, the day before tax day. Oh my God, dreaded tax day. Yeah, I have a very interesting relationship with tax law in the United States. About 20 years ago, I sponsored a gentleman named Irwin Schiff to come and give a series of lectures. I was in Massachusetts at the time, and Irwin Schiff wrote a book that has been banned by the federal government. It's called The Federal Mafia. It's the only book that I'm aware of that's actually been banned by the federal government, and it was an expose on the income tax and the various permutations of the law. Quite a fascinating read. Just sprang to my mind as I'm thinking about tax day. I always think about Irwin Schiff. They threw Irwin Schiff in jail. He'll probably die in jail. This radio network, the GCN radio network, was the radio network that sponsored Irwin Schiff's radio show years ago, which is another testament to the GCN radio network's commitment to bring you information. And that's what I do here, information. Another soccer player, professional soccer player, died over the weekend playing sports. And you mark my words, in this summer's Olympic Games, somebody's going to die. They're going to die on the field, on the court, in the water, somewhere, because here's the deal. Professional athletes, there's never been a professional athlete to make it over 100 years of age. There was one black guy, African-American guy in the old Afro-Negro baseball leagues back in the 20s. I forget the guy's name, but he's the only one that made it over 100. Now, we have the genetic potential to make it to 120. We do. We don't even come close to that in this country. There are third world cultures that do. I talked about that last week, the people that live in the blue zones. You know, 1 out of 250 in their culture is over 100, and they're healthy. They don't have heart disease. They don't have anything. They don't have insurance. They don't have hospitals. They don't have doctors. They don't have food. They're over 100 years old and healthy, right? In the United States, we're lucky if we make it to our 80s, really, and most of us die way before that, statistically speaking. And you would think that if exercise was so beneficial to the human body, you would assume it would be a correct supposition to postulate, well, holy smokes, well, if exercise is so good for you, then professional athletes must be the healthiest people, the longest-lived people in the world. Well, guess what? They're not. I'm just reading down a quick list here of the people in the NFL who have died while... that's a different list, I'm sorry. Professional athletes do not live as long as couch potatoes. Couch potatoes live longer than professional athletes by a factor of 5 to 10 years, depending on how you crunch the data. Let me say that one more time. Couch potatoes live longer than athletes, and here's why. When you exercise, you increase your metabolic rate and you sweat. You sweat out not just Gatorade, you sweat out a mineral soup. You sweat out the essential nutrients that your body needs, and you're upping your metabolism because you're running around, right? You're burning calories, your heart's going crazy, your lungs are going crazy, your blood's coursing through your arteries and your veins. Your body is burning energy, burning resources. So when you don't have enough resources in the first place because you went to the wrong doctor, because you went to a doctor who had no schooling in medical nutrition, no appreciation for medical nutrition, no respect for medical nutrition, you went to that type of a doctor, and you all know who I'm talking about, the guys with the MDs after their name. You went to those guys. They told you, don't worry about nutrition, just eat from the 4 food groups, eat balanced meals, get enough calories, and you'll be fine. Well, that's nonsense. It's impossible to get all the nutrition the body needs to stay healthy from food. You cannot do it. It is a fool's errand. Most of us have about 30-40% of the nutrients that our bodies need to stay healthy at any given moment in time. Athletes are no exception to this rule. There's nothing special in Gatorade. There's nothing in Gatorade. There's sugar and sodium and potassium, and that's it. That's it. So when you exercise, you sweat out. And when your body's running on half a tank, you're going to sweat out that half a tank much faster, much more rapidly than if you're lying on the couch, flipping through the channels on the remote, hardly breathing at all. You see this? If I had two automobiles, they both had, you know, it was the same make, same model, same year, and they both had exactly the same number of miles. If one of those cars had 1 quart of oil in the engine, and the other one had 4 quarts of oil, and they both need 8, right? One car's down 50%, the other car's down 90%. The car that's down 90%, the engine's going to seize faster. And if both of the cars were down 4 quarts, and I drove one of the cars at 100 miles an hour and the other car at 10 miles an hour, which car is the engine going to seize faster? Well, the car I'm driving 100 miles an hour. It's the same with the human body. In 60s, I believe, 60s or early 70s, there was a basketball player for the Boston Celtics. I think his name was Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis was the star of the Boston Celtics, and he was playing basketball, suffered a heart attack on the court. Everybody was horrified because, holy smokes, he's a professional athlete. He shouldn't be getting a heart attack. So all of the top doctors in Harvard circled around Reggie Lewis, drooling at the mouth to be the first doctor who fixed Reggie Lewis, gave him an artificial heart, fixed his heart with a triple, super-duper, quadruple, extra-duple bypass, right? While they were figuring out what to do, while they were vying over who was going to treat him and what was going to happen, he died of another heart attack. A month later, Jim Fixx, the guy that wrote the Runner's Bible, the guy that brought exercise and aerobics to the foreground in the United States, the guy that Nike loves to death, because before Jim Fixx, nobody was jogging. After Jim Fixx, everybody was jogging. His book, The Runner's Bible, was a New York Times bestseller for years. Revolutionized running in the United States. It's because of Jim Fixx that everybody started exercising. So a year after Reggie dies, Jim Fixx is standing in line at the post office in New Hampshire, and he dies of a heart attack standing in line. Same thing that killed Reggie Lewis. Now, Jim Fixx was running, an average of 10, 15 miles a day. He was a marathoner. He never came in less than 3rd place in every marathon that he ran. Ostensibly the healthiest, should have been one of the healthiest people in the world, as should have Reggie, if exercise is all that it's cracked up to be. Well, boom, boom, Reggie dies, then Jim Fixx dies, and this sent a shockwave through the scientific community. Doctors had to scramble and figure out, oh my God, what have we got wrong? What are we doing wrong? Let's figure this out. Well, they actually got something right. But you want to ask yourself why this is the first time you've heard about it. Harvard University studied the stress on the cardiovascular system, the stress on the heart, during and post-exercise, and came up with this startling statistic. Running increases the chance of a heart attack by 700%. I bet you didn't see that coming. So why are there all these fitness centers and gyms all over the place? Why is exercise so crazy now? P90X and all these exercise, all these workouts all the time. Because when you work out, you're going to get an endorphin rush. Your endurance is going to improve a little bit. You're going to lose some weight. You're going to feel better. Of course, you're going to look better, right? And then there's the whole culture of, the hard body now in the United States, which is nonsense. So when people don't question something and everybody just goes along for the ride, and the people that are driving that bus are insane, somebody's going to get hurt. Exercise without nutrition is suicide. Exercise without nutrition is suicide, and that's why sports players are dropping like flies all around the country. About 9 months ago, there was a high school kid in a basketball game, right, giving a basket to the last shot at the buzzer to win the game, and he dies of a heart attack. About 6 months before that, there was an African-American girl in a basketball player again. She was a straight-A student, really great, boom, dies of a heart attack. The majority of heart attacks that athletes die from are enlarged hearts. It's called a cardiomyopathy heart attack. It's where your heart enlarges and then basically pops, right? It doesn't really pop, but That's a nice little visual. It's called a cardiomyopathy heart attack. The main cause of cardiomyopathy heart attacks is not enough of the mineral selenium. Selenium is a mineral like calcium or iron or magnesium. There's only one place it's found. It's found in the soil. If the broccoli or the lettuce or the kumquats or the cauliflowers or the apples or the oranges or the milk, in this case the milk would be coming from the cow who ate grass that was grown in this soil. If the soil that these foodstuffs were grown in, or in the case of the cow, when the cow ate the grass that was supposed to give its body nutrition, if there's no selenium in that grass, there's no selenium in the milk. If there's no selenium in the soil of the apple tree, there's no selenium in the apple. If there's no selenium in the soil of the Brazil nut tree, there's no selenium in the Brazil nut. And so forth and so on. It is impossible to predict which minerals are going to be in your food. We need 60. The plant needs 3 to 6, depending on which plant it is. We need 60. Everybody is minerally deficient in this country. And when it comes to selenium, if you're selenium deficient and you're a regular exerciser, your heart's going to explode. I mean, it's not rocket science. If you were a sailor back in pirate days, didn't have enough limes or lemons or oranges on your ship, and you'd become vitamin C deficient, you'd get scurvy. 1 + 1 = 2. Well, if you're an athlete and you're not supplementing with selenium or the 59 other minerals, it's only a matter of time until something breaks. And athletes break down way before anybody else does. This is our moral, ladies and gentlemen. Exercise without nutrition is suicide. When we come back on the other side of the break, I'm going to tell you why exercise with nutrition will make you Superman. We've got Pamela on the line from Texas. I'm going to get to her in just a second. Appreciate your hanging on, Pamela. I want to just finish up my thought meme about exercise. So here's the deal. When you exercise, you stress your body. Your body attempts post-exercise to fix the parts of the body and strengthen the parts of the body which were stressed during exercise. That's how Schwarzenegger gets big muscles. That's how weightlifters, bodybuilders get big muscles. First they tear the muscle fiber down, then the body builds it up. That's how your lungs and your heart and your blood vessels and your knees and your shoulders and your joints are supposed to get stronger post-exercise, because you break the tissue down during exercise, put some stress and strain on it, and then the body fixes it after exercise. But what does the body need to fix it? It needs nutrients. You don't have any. So exercise without nutrition is suicide. Therefore, it follows that exercise with nutrition is most excellent. It is a most excellent thing to do. Exercise the body while you're nutrifying the body. And we came up with a sports replacement drink. It's a sports, it's our version of Gatorade. We call it Healthy Gatorade. It's called Rebound FX. We developed it with Theo Ratliff of the LA Lakers, second oldest player in the NBA. It is a fantastic drink for sports people. You drink it a little bit before, all the way during, and a little bit after exercise, and you're going to love how you feel. Your recovery time gets better. Your hand-eye coordination gets better. Your energy during the sporting event is steady, and there's no high ups or downs. You're going to love how you feel. I love pitching this particular product to people, showing people the merits of this particular product, because it is one of the longevity nutritional supplements that produces almost immediate results. You know, you take this stuff during a workout, you're going to feel it. You take it during a sporting event, you're going to feel it. And like we say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So if you're going to exercise, ladies and gentlemen, supplement your body with the Healthy Start Pack. 1 Healthy Start Pack plus 1 bottle of liquid plant minerals per 100 pounds of body weight per day, or per month, per day. and 1 extra bottle of the Rebound FX. Use that during a sporting event. You can purchase those supplements at the wholesale just by simply going to fireyourmdnow.com. Fireyourmdnow.com. Just follow the links on the website, and before you know it, you are going to be feeling fantastic. Okay, Pam, here I am. You have a question about longevity without having a gallbladder, is that right?
Right. I am getting ready to purchase the Longevity Healthy Start Pack, and I know I'm about 100 pounds overweight. I'm not on any medication. So I'm thinking, what, do I need to take 2.5 packs of the program?
Well, what's your total body weight? What are you, 250?
I am down to I was at 250, and now I'm down to 238.
Okay, good girl. And you don't have a gallbladder, right?
No gallbladder since 92.
Okay, why'd they pull it? Were there stones in it, or were you having gallbladder pain?
I had gallbladder attacks on and off, well, every few months for about a year, and then I had pancreatitis. And another gallbladder attack after that, so they said, let's take it out.
Did they get to the root of the pancreatitis?
Well, I had a gallstone that was lodged in the common bile duct.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, good. So one of the things, whenever there's gallstone formation, especially gallstone formation like that, we want to, in everything that we do here, right, we look to the root cause of the illness. So rather than just give you a program for weight loss or someone without a gallbladder, I'd like to try to figure out what the heck went wrong with the gallbladder in the first place, right? Because you don't get gallstones because you have a gallbladder. You don't get pancreatitis because you have a pancreas, right? It's not that simple. The game is afoot here, as Sherlock Holmes would say. The first thing to consider when there's gallstone formation historically, because the process that was causing the gallstones is still going on even though you don't have the gallbladder anymore, right? So there are 2 things to consider when there's a history of gallstone formation. The first is simple dehydration. The second is an allergy to the chicken egg. And the third is not enough of the mineral selenium, because when your gallbladder starts accumulating bile in a funky way, stones start to form. And one of the reasons that that can happen is because your liver is underfunctioning, and your liver loves selenium. So stick with me. When we come back from this break, I will give you a recipe for perfect health for Pamela from Texas. Stick with me. We are talking with Pam from Texas, who had some gallbladder problems a little while ago. Had her gallbladder removed because there was a gallstone lodged in the common bile duct. Now she'd like to get healthy, smartest girl in class, and lose about 100 pounds of body weight. And she's wondering how to do that effectively and efficiently using the Longevity family of products. Well, honestly, the only way that you're ever going to be able to do that, Pam, is with the Longevity family of products, because the only thing that makes people gain weight is nutrient deficiencies. When your body is running on nutrient fumes, you crave food. When you crave food, you eat food. When you eat food that doesn't have nutrients in it, you still crave food. So you're nutrient deficient, you go to Olive Garden, eat 3,000 calories, and 2 hours later you're hungry again. And then your knucklehead MD tells you you're depressed, or it's genetic, or your stomach's too big, or you need a lap band, or you need Prozac, or you need speed, or you need to just get up off your lazy butt and go join a gym, because it's all your fault. Couldn't be the doctor's fault. Couldn't be medical incompetence. Couldn't be medical ignorance. Has to be your fault. Even though obesity is the 33% of American adults are obese, even though while the MDs have been driving the bus, obesity has increased 30% in our children. Oh, no, it can't be their fault. Has to be your fault. Well, guess what? It is their fault. The only reason anybody in this country is overweight is because they've used an MD for medical advice. MDs have completely 100% dropped the ball on obesity here, and it is a crying shame. As far as I'm concerned, there's potential lawsuits here, but you can't throw somebody in jail for ignorance, which is too bad, really, quite frankly, because so much pain and suffering has been caused by the MD profession. It is biblical in numbers. It is biblical. That's why I call this program Fire Your MD Now, because the best thing that anybody can do for their health, unless you're bleeding to death or have some type of trauma to your body, the best thing that anybody can do is stop using MDs. Just stop it. Don't go there anymore. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, Pam, here's the deal. With gallstone formation, often there's a combination of not enough nutrients for the liver, especially the mineral selenium, not enough water in the system, simple dehydration, which is very, very common in this country, by the way, and an allergy to a chicken egg. So let's take it backwards. The first thing I'd like you to do is stop eating chicken eggs for 7 days. Zero. Don't even want you to eat anything that has an egg in it. So, read the labels. There's eggs in ice cream. There's eggs in a bread. There's eggs in a whole bunch of stuff. So stop eating anything that has eggs in it for 7 days. And then on day 8, I want you to have 2 eggs soft scrambled in butter for breakfast. Soft scrambled in butter for breakfast. 2 eggs soft scrambled in butter for breakfast on day 8. And I want you to just look to see how you feel after you eat the eggs between, the last mouthful and noontime, all right? Give your body about 3 or 4 hours and see how you feel. If any of your chronic aches and pains increase, or if your energy goes into the crapper, or if you get really moody, or you get really irritable, or there's anything noticeable that increases in a negative way, then you're allergic to the chicken egg. And most people that are transported to the emergency room with a gallbladder attack, quote unquote, have just eaten a fried egg. So there's an intimate relationship between the consumption of fried eggs specifically and the attack, a gallbladder attack. So we don't want to leave that stone unturned. Check that out. If you eat the eggs on day 8 without any problem whatsoever, then you're good. And you can continue to eat eggs because we love eggs here. It's a perfect protein. And in my perfect world, everybody would eat 2 to 3 chicken or more, if you're over 200 pounds, chicken eggs a day. It is almost a perfect food for the human body, loaded with cholesterol, loaded with healthy fats, and loaded with protein. It is the protein. It is the protein that all other proteins are compared to. All right. Now, because they took your gallbladder, your system isn't producing enough bile, or it's still producing bile, but it doesn't have enough bile in order to get the digestive process done. So we need to give it a little bit of help. And in this regard, anybody that's had their gallbladder removed, it's mandatory that they take a longevity supplement called Ultimate Enzymes for the rest of your life. I would take 1 to 2 enzymes before a meal. You might want to go up to 3 enzymes if it's a big meal. You might be able to get away with 1 enzyme, before breakfast, and 2 with lunch and 2 with dinner. Check it out, see how you feel. But the longevity supplement called Ultimate Enzyme contains ox bile in potent amounts. And it's a replacement for human bile because your body just isn't concentrating bile like it used to. And when you add the longevity ultimate enzymes to the beginning of a meal, and that's kind of important, that you take these enzymes, they're digestive enzymes, if you take these enzymes a little bit before you start the meal or at the very beginning, that's best. And if you forget and get to the end of the meal, don't take the enzymes, because they will, taken at the end of the meal, they'll actually hinder digestion. So we want to take these before digestion, 1 or 2, maybe 3. Fool around with it and see which number of enzymes makes you feel the best. You're going to love how you feel just by simply adding that one supplement. So you need to take that. Get 1 bottle first, 1 bottle for 1 month. See how your body handles it. I've been doing this for 3.5 years with Ultimate Enzymes. I've never known anybody that ever had a negative reaction to that supplement. So I think you're going to be in the clear there. Now, for your first month with longevity, in addition to the Ultimate Enzymes, here's what I would get. I would get 1 Healthy Start Pack and 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals. That's all that I would get. 1 Healthy Start Pack and 2 bottles of the liquid plant minerals. And if you go to fireyourmdnow.com, right there on the front page, I have a document that will tell you how to take the Healthy Start Pack. It lines it all up for you with dosages appropriate for body weight and whatever. The reason that I want you to start with one, even though that's about half as much as you need, one Healthy Start Pack, is because a small percentage of people who have gallbladder issues have trouble with the main component of the Healthy Start Pack. It's called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. That is a really concentrated powder. It's really, really super concentrated. And if your digestive tract is funky because, you know, the game is afoot, right? There was something going on there that caused the gallbladder to be problematic. If that process is still taking place, it's possible that your digestive tract's not going to like the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You're going to get nauseous or have a little bit of diarrhea or gas or constipation after you take it. You probably have about a 15% chance of that happening, and I just made that number up. It's a small chance, but it's a chance nonetheless, and I've seen it happen. So start with one Healthy Start Pack and 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals. And I'd like you to take the liquid plant minerals, 1 ounce of liquid plant minerals, 3 times a day. 3 times a day, 1 ounce of liquid plant minerals. And the instructions for the Healthy Start Pack are right on the website at FireMyMD now. So if you start with 1 Healthy Start Pack, 1 bottle of Ultimate Enzymes, and 2 bottles of the liquid plant minerals for your first 2 or 3 weeks, then you're going to know if everything's good. Now, if everything's good, the recommendation for your monthly allotment would be 2 Healthy Start Packs, 2 bottles of Ultimate Enzymes, and 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals per month. 2 Healthy Starts, 2 Ultimate Enzymes, and 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals per month. That's a really good start. And if you do that program and dial in, start to get comfortable with knowing what 1,200 calories a day looks like, 400 for breakfast, 400 for lunch, 400 for dinner, or 200 for breakfast, 500 for lunch, 500 with dinner. When you dial in a 1,200 calorie a day diet, which will be really, really, really easy when you're taking the supplements, you're going to lose weight like a rock star. The pounds are just going to start to drop off of you. You're not going to be hungry between meals. You're not going to go crazy. You're not going to lose your mind. You're not going to get insomnia. You're not going to feel like you're starving to death, like you just have to grit your teeth and bear it. You won't even recognize it because your appetite disappears, all right? So give that program a try for 3-4 weeks. Call me back with a report, and I'll fine-tune it for you. Does that sound good?
That sounds great, Dr. Glidden. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you're the greatest. All right. Thanks for calling. Now we have Faith from Illinois. A question about spilling excess protein from the kidneys. Oh. Hello, Faith. Are you still there?
Yes. Hi, Dr. Glidden.
How are you? Thanks for calling.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Okay. So what's going on now? What's the kidney diagnosis here?
Okay. I have lupus nephritis. Have been spilling excess protein for over a year, and I have been given the sole protocol.
Let me guess. They want to give you chemotherapy. Is that right?
Yes, the Cytoxin, correct.
Yeah. Well, look, that's just a ridiculous therapeutic approach. I understand why they did it, because, from the MD's point of view, they got to do something. And when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, so they're going to start hitting everything with the hammer because that's all they've got. It's a juvenile, outdated, barbaric therapeutic intervention from my point of view. Now, because there's a lupus component, this adds a really interesting twist into this equation here, because from our point of view, from the holistic point of view, lupus is, everybody calls lupus an autoimmune disease, but we don't believe that it's an autoimmune disease. What we mean is we don't believe that it's possible for your body to generate antibodies against itself. We could get into an argument about terms here, but autoimmune diseases, when the MDs speak about autoimmune diseases, they speak about it like it's something that's set in stone. And even if there is a detectable antibody against one or more tissues in your body, then you're doomed. And, it's game over. You just have to deal with it for the rest of your life. Well, I've had people recover from lupus. They had it, and they don't have it anymore. And hundreds of my colleagues have experienced the same thing. Whenever there's a lupus component, what MDs refer to as lupus, from our point of view, it is 100% related to a gluten intolerance. What I mean is, you need to stop eating wheat, barley, rye, and oats yesterday, because those 4 foods impair and damage the tissue in your intestinal tract that absorbs nutrients in your body, and it punches holes in the barrier between the inside of your body and the outside of your body. So as time goes by, your immune system is going to be hyper-stressed, because every time you eat something, big molecules of food are going to slip into the bloodstream where only little molecules of food should be, and it's going to excite the immune system. Then all kinds of crazy things are going to happen. It's like lighting a cat's tail on fire. You never know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be good, right? So whenever there's a component of lupus, regardless of what else we're going to do, and there's a lot else that we can do for the kidneys, which I'm going to pick up on the other side of the break, but the first thing you have to get real comfortable with, like yesterday, like your life depended on it, is a gluten-free diet. Gluten-free and oat-free. No wheat, no barley, no rye, no oats. And on the other side of the break, I will tell you what supplements to take to support and promote healthy kidneys. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your lucky day. We're talking to Faith from Illinois. She has a question about a kidney condition. And Faith, in the interest of time, I'm just going to line this up for you. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So I'd like you please to go to fireyourmdnow.com. And on the front page of the website, there's a link for a free download. It's called Good Food, Bad Food. Download that link, please. And there are 9 or 10 foods on the bad food list. I want you, please, to eliminate those 10 foods from your diet immediately. 100%, no complaining. Stop eating those foods. They put undue stress on your digestive tract and your kidney. We need to give your system a break, so to speak. So stop eating those foods. Now, and here are the supplements that I would take. 1 anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. So if you're 150 pounds, you get 2 healthy start packs in April and 1 in May, 2 in June and 1 in July, and so forth and so on. 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals a month. I don't care how much you weigh. I want you to take 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals per month. So that's 1 healthy, anti-aging, healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month, and 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals. The secret sauce here for ultimate kidney health is a nutritional supplement called Ultimate Daily. So I'd like you also to buy 1 bottle of Ultimate Daily capsules, and take 2 of those with breakfast, 2 with lunch, and 2 with dinner. All right, that's 1 Ultimate Daily capsule, 2 bottles of liquid plant minerals, and 1 healthy start pack, anti-aging healthy start pack per 100 pounds of body weight per month. And there's a document also right on the front page of fireyourmdnow.com that'll tell you how to take that stuff. Take those supplements, clean up your diet along the good food, bad foods lines. Do this for 90 days, 3 months. Now, if you were a patient of mine in a state where I could prescribe the cytotoxic chemotherapy, I would tell you not to do it. But because I can't do that in Illinois, I can't tell you to do that. But if you were my patient in a state where I could prescribe that, I would tell you not to do it. And if it were me, I would never do that therapy, ever. So clean your diet up, go gluten-free. There's about 7 other foods I want you to stop. It's on that list. Get those supplements. Take them religiously, like your life depended on it, for 90 days. And give me a call back around, I don't know, the 3rd week, just to touch base with me to see how you're doing, and perhaps I can fine-tune it for you, okay? You're going to love how you feel. You can help your kidney, help your body to recover its health because your body wants to. Most of the time that we're dealing with a chronic illness, it's simply because we are unwittingly eating food that's hurting us every day. It's like picking a scab every day. It's never going to heal, for goodness sake. And number 2, the human body doesn't have the nutrients that it needs to fix itself. So, you know, your kidney is suffering, struggling. It's like a starving person. You need to give it nutritional support. Give your digestive tract nutritional support. Your body will bounce back most of the time. I've seen people come off of dialysis with kidney problems following medical nutrition. It's really great. You have nothing to lose here, Faith, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Give those supplements a try. Thank you so much for calling. I believe we have Mark from New York. Is Mark still with us? Has a question about eating organic?
Yeah, actually, I'm a heart patient. I 15 years now, and I'm on like 12 meds. But the last couple of months, I started eating organic and knocking out, like you said, all those garbage foods and exercise. And I lost 45 pounds.
Yeah.
And I eliminated the statin, the water pill.
Good man.
I took the 325 aspirin a day, and they're probably going to take me off the type 2 diabetes as well.
Good.
But my question is, next month I'm going to be able to afford to start using supplements.
Yes, sir.
Is that going to be a problem with the rest of the meds I'm on?
No, as a matter of fact, it'll be just the opposite. The quicker you start the supplements, the better the meds will work, number one, and number two, the shorter you'll have to be on them. Because when you give your body the nutrition that it needs, it starts firing on all 16 cylinders. So your blood pressure starts to normalize, your INR starts to normalize, your lung capacity starts to improve. Everything gets better. Because why? It's the first time in your life your body's had everything that it needs. You don't need to worry about these supplements interfering with any of the meds that you're on, but you do need to keep going back to your healthcare professionals so that they can measure what's going on with your body and then reduce the meds. Because the sooner you start a good medical nutrition program, the faster you'll be able to get off of the meds. And you need to let the MDs hold your hand through that process. But remember, our goal is to get you so healthy you can stop taking all of your prescription medicines, because that's the best way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Dr. Peter Glidden. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat station. Talk to you then.